What's going on, guys? It's Luke22SV here. We're back with the 5th round of the career mode today here for the Spanish Grand Prix of Season 2. A difficult start to the season with 2 DNFs in the first laps of the last 2 races. Getting into the points just about in Australia and Bahrain. A nightmare race in Bahrain, really. We somehow managed to scrape points. But coming in today, it's been a while since I've uploaded again. I say that almost every time I upload. But just struggling a bit at the moment for motivation, everything going on around Christmas. But hopefully we'll get a few more videos up before the end of the year, and probably just kickstart 2020 with being back into YouTube properly and putting a lot more effort into YouTube. But at the moment, just need a little bit of a break, not being able to upload much. It's not that it matters too much, and not many people watch me anyway, so no one's missing too much by me not being around. But hopefully 2020 will be a good year for me. I've gained, well, 1.7 thousand subscribers in my first year of doing YouTube, so it's been a good year, and hopefully push on next year and do a lot better, which is what I'm hoping for, but you never know. It's been a bit of a struggle over the last few months. Haven't really grown as much as I would have liked to, but well, just can't do anything about that. I've just got to try and keep improving my content, and probably doing a bit of different content here and there. But at the moment, my YouTube is not doing too well, but probably hasn't been helped by me not being as active as I could be. But again, just things going on in life that just perhaps putting YouTube to one side for a bit. But definitely coming back in 2020, I'll be doing YouTube on a full-time, well, on a most-time basis. I'll definitely be trying to get YouTube back on track. But yeah, here we go then. We're on our main lap at the moment, currently down in P18. So really struggling this season for whatever reason. Just can't seem to find the pace, even though our car is, well, pretty good. As we come around the last few corners, we are up on our previous time. We were down in Sector 2, but coming across the line, surely this is going to be an improved time, and it's only P15. So when our car is supposed to be in the top 10 and we're struggling down in P15, it's really just what is going on this season. We started the season so poorly, and our teammates up in P4, so that says a lot really about the pace of him. We just got to go into the race, and hopefully that we can have a better race then, because at the moment starting from P15 is not what we should be, where we should be. And of course you can see the top 5 teams in the top 10. We're the only team that's the only car that's missing then, so we head on into the race for the Spanish Grand Prix Season 2, and hopefully we can survive lap 1 this time. I'm sure if you've seen the length of this video, you probably would have figured out that we actually will survive lap 1, because of course the last couple of videos have been quite short anyway, so this, well, I just kind of gave it away. We do get past lap 1, but whether we may get through in one piece, we'll find out in a moment's time. But we'll run it through the grid, and it was Hamilton on pole alongside Devon Butler, who's having a good season so far. McLaren's really turning it on in Season 2. Valtteri Bottas lining up in 3rd, alongside my teammate in P4, Gasly and Leclerc on row 3, with Vettel and Norris on row 4, and Hulkenberg being the outsider into the top 10. Both the Renaults in row 6 after a difficult start to the season, so they're looking pretty strong in this race, so it's looking good for them. Sergio Perez down in last place though, and both the Racing Points actually having a difficult start to the season really as well. Ricciardo being nowhere, but which is a bit weird. But we'll head on to the start of the race then, as those 5 red lights come on, and we can only improve from P15 then, as we head out, the lights out and away we go, and we get straight onto that weather report as we get jumped by George Russell off the start, and heading towards turn 1, a long run into turn 1, as we go round the outside of George Russell and Toro Rosso, and make that the Haas as well, up into P12, almost running into the back of Nico Hulkenberg, who's lost the place off the start. So we're looking to follow Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg is where he should be in real life in Season 2, which should be 2020, as we look to make a move down the inside of Nico Hulkenberg, but he closes the door, so we're going to have to settle for P12 for the time being, but we've gained 3 places already, so doing what we have to do really, and we need to get these points on the board, so we need to get a good start. So getting past Hulkenberg now will be our next target, if we can get past him quickly as possible, and decent start thanks to our engineers telling us. And now one of the main overtaking opportunities on this track. There's not too many overtaking opportunities. It's quite a dismal track to drive, well, a dismal track to watch, but we stick it down the inside of Hulkenberg now, up into P11. So another place is gained, and now Carlos Sainz, and in a Renault that's really been off the pace so far this season. We can possibly get past him quickly as possible, and hopefully dispatch Carlos Sainz, and now thinking about trying to get past him onto the start-finish straight, and getting into the points positions straight away. A good start is what we needed to get here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Hamilton starting the race well. Looks like Valtteri Bottas got him to P2 as well, but now we've got a little bit of run here on Carlos Sainz. Can we get close enough to stick it down the inside into turn 1? We look a little bit too far back, but we do it anyway. We dive down the inside of Carlos Sainz, take away P10 away from him. A bold move there to take P10 away, and we're into the point. So a start that we needed to make, a good start for us for once. And you can see the replay there. You can see just the Mercedes leading away from the McLaren. That looks a bit weird seeing the McLaren on the front row, and but I would love to see it anyway. As we head into turn 1, we can just stick it around the outside. The Racing Point was making a lunge into turn 1 there too, but we stick it around the outside of the Toro Rosso, the Haas of Kevin Magnussen as well there, and then we're focusing on that next Haas of Nico Hülkenberg. You can see the Max Verstappen fighting there with Carlos Sainz. So Verstappen not having the best of seasons either, really, being out-qualified by Gasly here and there. So that's something we don't really see too often. And now following Hülkenberg, of course, we end up making that move in a moment's time. But at the moment, we're not actually looking too close. We actually see Magnussen's a little bit closer to us for comfort there. So we head towards the one of the DRS zones on this track. But DRS, of course, isn't activated at this point, but that doesn't stop us from making a move down the inside of Nico Hülkenberg into P11, and at that point we had gained 4 places off the start. So focusing now our attention onto Carlos Sainz, and already onto the back of him, so of course dispatching Nico Hülkenberg there as quickly as possible, and now just doing what we had to do in this race, which was just hopefully we can keep up with these guys at the front now, because we don't know whether qualifying in P15 means that our pace is going to be P15 in the race as well. But at the moment it's looking quite good. We're looking quite happy, and here we go. Here's the move that we made on Carlos Sainz, go into turn 1, and of course it was a little bit of a late camera reaction there, but there you go. It was a dive bomb past him and we made it stick. No contact was made, so a clean move in the end up into P10. But now we head on to the end of lap 2, and we're in a little bit of a train here, so we've actually managed to keep up with Max Verstappen and the rest of the guys ahead of us. So at the moment we're quite happy with the pace that we got at the moment. Managed to keep up with the guys ahead of us, so hopefully we can make a little bit of an inroad on these guys, and maybe challenge these guys as well, and gain a few positions. And now close in on Max Verstappen again. He goes to the inside, we go to the outside in turn 1, and he kindly gets out of the way for us. So up into P9 we go, and a nice little move on Max Verstappen there. Now next target is Pierre Gasly. So Red Bull not looking too happy around this Red Bull track, this Spanish Grand Prix track. Just for whatever reason, they look like they're probably the 5th best car at the moment, Red Bull, in terms of how they look around this track. At least McLaren and Ferrari as well, not looking too happy. It's the only team that really looks too happy is Mercedes. You can see on the mini-map there, those 2 Mercedes are flying away, as they normally do at most races when we come to Spain. They're quite dominative at this track in real life, but Mercedes, of course, have a pretty strong package on this game, and are by far the best team at the moment on this game as well. So all these 4 teams as well that are really in a fight for second are just trying to close the gap to Mercedes at the moment. But basically Alfa, Ferrari, McLaren and Red Bull all fighting for second. As you can see, the battle for third though is hotting up just ahead of us. You can see the Ferrari of Leclerc was fighting with Lucas Weber there for P3, and you can see the McLarens as well ahead of us. So we're closing in on Pierre Gasly now. He's our next target. Can we get past Pierre Gasly? Onto lap 4 we go. We've got that DRS wide open now. He's trying to make a move on Lando Norris. We make a move on Gasly, and Norris kindly gets out of the way of us too. So we've gained 2 places there in just a couple of corners. So P7 now. So we're making a lot of inroads on these guys. And you can see these guys are battling too. So you can see it's Butler fighting with Leclerc now. So Weber's managed to get up to P3 as we move on to the end of lap 6 now. And we're following Leclerc, Vettel and Butler. And you can see just about ahead of us Lucas Weber pulling away. So now we come to the pit stop window. Devon Butler pulls into the pits. And you can see just behind us as well, Max Verstappen pulls into the pits. So now we're boxing this lap, of course. Our teammates got a pit as well. Hamilton's come into the pits. You can see both the Ferraris have got a pit, so they're both fighting as Vettel gets past Leclerc, and we're looking for perhaps a chance to get past one of these guys or both of these guys, and definitely gain a few more positions in this race. If we can have a good pit stop, that would be ideal too. So now we're following these guys, currently P5, but we've got to watch out for the guys as well who have just pitted. Butler and Verstappen who've made the undercut, and will definitely be on fresher tyres. So we've got to watch out for those guys. They're going to be very quick on their outlap, and we got Lando Norris now behind us. So the Ferrari's actually holding us up as well a bit here. So Norris managed to keep up with us as well. We get a exceeded trap limits warning there. Nothing too bad. We were just a bit off a little bit of a corner cut, but poor exit out of that corner there has allowed Lando Norris to close in on us a little bit. We come round now, and just the last sector now before you will pit, and one of these Ferraris should be coming into the pits as well this lap, and we should see which one it is and whether we can jump these guys in the pits, whether our pit crew can actually have a better pit stop than these guys ahead of us. It will remain to be seen in just a moment's time as we come round. The last few corners will be boxed then, and it's Leclerc that will carry on and Vettel that will pit. So in the pits we go. Lando Norris follows us into the pits as well. So here we go then, coming into the pits. Can we get a good pit stop? You can see one of the Red Bulls is right behind Lando Norris as well. So it's going to be all touch and go whether we can get a good pit stop here. What can our pit crew do? You see they're fitting those tyres on as quickly as possible. The Ferrari goes past us. We come out and almost an unsafe release, but we're still ahead of Lando Norris, which is ideal. But you can see there, Devon Butler flies past us there, and you can see as well the Red Bull of Max Verstappen flying past us too. So Verstappen has managed to make the undercut work. Unfortunately for us, we've lost a place there in the pit stop window. Despite our good start, our good race so far, we see Verstappen flying past us, which is a bit demoralising. But what can you do? He made a better pit stop out of that, and now we're following Verstappen. We're in P11 then, and there's of course going to be several cars yet to stop in this race, so got to watch out for that. We're now following Verstappen again. Can we get that pace to close back in on Verstappen and retake the position, because we were quicker than Verstappen at the earliest start of the race. Maybe because we were on fresh softs and all the other guys in the top 10 were on new softs. That could be a good answer to that question. But Lando Norris is on the hard tyre, we're on the medium as well as Verstappen, so maybe Lando Norris knows something we don't, or maybe we know something that Lando Norris doesn't, but we're on the medium tyre, so we should be a bit quicker, and maybe Lando will be a little bit quicker towards the end of the race, but we're coming towards the end of this lap now, and our teammates now come into the pits, so teammate of Lucas Weber and of course Charles Leclerc will be pitting as well, so there's a good chance we can end up in front of Leclerc here once his pit stop window is completely over, and once everyone has made this pit stop. So you can see down on the mini map, you can see Weber's come out the pits, Leclerc come out the pits too, but now we've got DRS on Verstappen and we're going to fly past Verstappen, but you can see Leclerc has actually managed to stay ahead of us by a little bit of a margin there, so up into P7 we go again. We managed to get past Verstappen, and a good move there. DRS really helped us out a bunch there, so good news for us. And they're setting a purple sector 1 there in doing so. But P7 is not where we want to be, and there's a safety car that's come out, and someone is out of the race, and it's Valtteri Bottas. So a Mercedes comfortable 1-2 has been ended by a Mercedes reliability there. So what on earth has happened to Valtteri Bottas? You can see he's just pulled over to the side there. Up into P6 we go. So this is looking positive now for the end of the race. Can we gain some more positions, because the pack's going to be all bunched up, and there's a good chance, a real good chance of points here, and closing in on Vettel. We're ahead of both the Red Bulls and one of the McLarens, so Red Bull really the 5th best team here. Weber's got some good pace, but now we move on to a lap 11, the end of lap 11. The safety car will be in this lap. Can we make a move on these Ferraris? We've been quite strong in sort of pace so far in this race. You can see our teammates up in second now, ahead of Devon Butler, so there's a good chance of us getting a good result here. Could we get on the podium perhaps by the end of this race? We'll have to find out in these last 6 laps or so. And a poor exit there. We got a bit of oversteer. We jumped over the curb, and that's not going to help us at all. We're going to put us on the back foot, and Verstappen's going to be hungry and trying to get past us almost immediately into turn 1, and that really has not helped us out a lot at all there. And Lando Norris as well. He's looking for a way past Max Verstappen. So that could help us out a little bit as well if those two guys are fighting, but really not the way we wanted to restart this race. Just the amount of pressure that's on us at the moment to perform, and we're just really not performing at all. Just with everything that's going on this season, we're just really struggling to perform. We're under a lot of pressure to keep hold of this drive at the moment. We're just come to Austria, we could end up being sacked because after 8 rounds, you get the contract every 4 rounds. So we managed to stay after Baku, but if it stays like this, if we can't meet the objectives, we're going to be out the door, I think. So we really need to perform here and get those points back on the board, because Lucas Weber's got so many more points than us at this stage of the season, and basically carrying the team whilst we're struggling to even complete a lap, as we saw in China and Baku, both wet races as well. Although Baku wasn't really our fault, we were taken out by Lando Norris. But it looks like we're closing in on Vettel now, and as we head towards the end of this lap, we've just got to manage our ERS and use it at the right time. Can we get close enough to make a move on Sebastian as we get close enough now? Moving on to lap 14 and onto lap 15, we're still just about an arm's length away from Vettel with DRS open. But the problem is everyone else in front of us got DRS open, so it's just we're not really managing to make any progress here. But Leclerc has managed to make a little bit of progress. He's managed to get past Devon Butler and is fighting with our teammate now. We can see Hamilton has managed to pull away again, as you'd expect, that Mercedes being just overpowered in this season. But Leclerc seems to find his way past our teammate and Devon Butler too. So our two F2 rivals has been overtaken by Leclerc. Can Vettel do the same? But can we get past Vettel ourselves? Because we're now really close enough on Sebastian Vettel, and surely it's only a matter of time before we can make a move. But the problem is these guys are going to have DRS too, so it's just all going to be status quo really. If those guys can get DRS, we're not going to be able to get past these guys either. So it's a problem with this track where there's not many overtaking opportunities, and we've just got to bide our time and really get close enough to Vettel now. But you can see Vettel not probably focusing a little bit on us there. A little bit out of shape was Vettel then, and but we just couldn't force the issue, which we probably would have been able to if this was a real life race. But we're jumping over those curbs again, and just getting a poor exit out of this last corner is what's really affecting us really at the moment. As you can see, we're just losing too much time between ourselves and Vettel. But now we head on to the last lap of the race, and again it's the same sort of scenario really. Vettel too far ahead of us for us to make a move. We just can't make a move because we're just too far back because we just can't get a good exit out of the last corner. So it looks like P6 is going to be where we're going to finish in this race, perhaps, but it is what it is. It's going to be our best result of the season, nonetheless. But there could be better results hopefully coming up. We know that we're quite strong around Canada, so hopefully that'll be a good one for us. And we got our first points of the season last season in Monaco, so there's always hope around the corner. We just need to start showing that we can actually perform this season, and maybe write off the season and focus on next season, because it doesn't look like we're going to be fighting for the championship on this season. It looks like Mercedes are going to be the team to beat for sure as we come through the last few corners of this lap, and it's going to be a Lewis Hamilton win. Our teammate's done very well, so has Charles Leclerc, who will be finishing second, but our teammate gets another podium, and we look at a late move on Vettel. It comes off worse though, we lose a bit of front wing, but we come around the last corner of the lap, and that's going to be P6, our best result of the season so far. And there you go.
Not good enough.
Yeah, not good enough though. We gained 9 places off the start, but yeah, still not good enough, despite, you know, being our best result. Managing to keep it out the wall, keeping all 4 tyres on the car is a real achievement for us at the moment. So there you go. Just shows that even when we have a good result, climbing a load of places, it's still not good enough, because our teammate is just doing so much better than us. So you can see he's on the podium, we're not. And again, he's got so many more points than us, as we'll see in just a moment's time. There you go, P6, and there you go, Magnussen and Hulkenberg both getting points for Haas, so good result for them. See Bottas down in last. If we look in the standings, our teammates got 61 points, we've just got 15, so we're a long way behind. But we're up into P10 though, so that's a good thing. We're up into the top half where we belong, but we just need to start gaining those positions now, because we are a long way behind where we should be. But we're up into third though, thanks to our points. We're ahead of McLaren and Red Bull, who are fifth best. But that's going to be the end of the episode there, guys. I hope you enjoyed it today. I'm not sure when Monaco will be, but should be uploaded soon. Also, my end of season review will be uploaded as well. But there's not going to be too many more videos before the end of the year, I would imagine. But at the start of the new year, that's when I'm going to start uploading properly again. So like and subscribe. I'll see you very soon.